Hello. Hello. Okay. Let me open this up. There we go. Hi all. Going live today. It's Saturday. The weather's not as hot. I thought this would be a good time to come on live and see what's going on. So, hello to everyone. Let me. Oh, everything's gonna show up here. Sweet. Well, I'm Bo Maxwell. It's good to see you if you're joining me live. I want to cover today what happens when people open up intuitively. Now, this has been popping up, and I tend to feel the urge to come on live and talk about something if a lot of people are bringing it up at the same time. That's how I decide how to make my courses. When the courses come out, it's almost as if I say to the universe, what's most important right now? And they're like, oh, well, here's 17 emails of people going, hey, I have a question. So here's the question on the table right now. What happens to people when they open up intuitively? So I want to discuss that today. I want to say hello. Hi, Paula. Good to see you. I want to say hello to a couple people. A lot of people come in. Hi, Shannon. Mwah. Good to see you. While we wait for people to jump on in here, I also want to talk about something really, really exciting to me. My memoirs, my book, Cracking Open Adventures of a Reluctant Medium, was actually the first edition was released back in 2011. And it has just a history of being so supportive to people who are opening up intuitively. I absolutely love that book. I had a really good editor. That's what we're going to say. I am, if you know me at all, you know that I'm a math major, and 1+1 is 2, and English probably wasn't my strong suit, but this book, I'm really excited to let people know it's free right now. Yes, Amber, can't wait for Monday, but it's actually free right now. It has a 5-day free promotion, so it's free now through Monday. Just go to Amazon, the Kindle download. There's no emails. This isn't attached to anything. This is not connected to any courses or anything. This is literally just free. That's it. You can go directly to Amazon and get it. Share this with your friends. Share it with anyone that you know that's opening up intuitively. So this book was written about the first 2 years of me opening up. And I want to share a little bit about that and also talk about what it means for other people that are opening up intuitively. Because I don't know if you've looked around lately, but this is a really big time right now for people opening up spiritually. It's a big time for transition in every arena that we didn't even realize could happen. But spiritually, this is a big time of opening. So if you've had some experiences, if you don't know what to do with them, if you're not sure how to move forward, find community. Find community, find people that you can connect with. This book will be very helpful for you because in essence, it's the first 2 years of what happened to me intuitively opening up. Cool part is that I'm not a fan of boring books. I'm that person that I'll read the first chapter, and if it doesn't have me, I'm done. I'm all set. I'll go on to the next one. And yeah, I've got, anyone have 15 books on their nightstand? That's me. So I wanted to make sure that this book was something that would engage you from beginning to end. And that's really the feedback. We get a lot of feedback from people that are like, okay, I couldn't put it down. So it's really great. But the bigger component of this book is walking through the life of somebody who went from complete skeptic, like that's not an exaggeration, to really open, and what happened in between. And like I said, the links are in there. It's free. Go ahead and download it. It's, again, not connected to anything. Share it with as many people as you can. Share it to groups, share it with friends. When it comes to opening up, especially for people that were not supported through childhood, these ideas were not introduced to you. Perhaps you were raised in a certain environment that wasn't conducive to being highly intuitive. Perhaps you were raised with some belief structures that you find it scary. I will tell you, I was scared the first couple of years opening up. I had fears. It was a little nerve-wracking. Look at me lightening it. It was nerve-wracking. So here's the summary for those of you who have not yet met me or read the book. For those of you that have read the book, please give me a shout out. Let me know where you're at too. We have people all over the globe. I made sure to put links in there for the UK and for Australia and for Canada, because I know we've got a lot of you students over there, all over the globe. For me, it happened when my grandmother passed. And so I literally have a math major from college. It was just, everything was logical. I didn't believe in any of it. None of that was real. Psychic were frauds. Fast forward, joke on me. They're not. So I was dealing with the death of my grandmother. She was in Minnesota. I was in New Hampshire. And I'm going to give you kind of the shortened version of how I opened. And then I want to talk about some things that you might be experiencing and how to balance through them. Please stick around just for the next 5-10 minutes. This live won't be too long, but I want to give you tools that you can start with, and I will give you right here, right now, that you can start immediately. But I was 31 and my grandmother passed in Minnesota. And I want to say about a half an hour afterwards, I was alone in our apartment. And she showed up in my apartment, just showed up in the living room right in front of me. Cute little 4'10", smiling, winked at me, adorable grandmother that was just everything to me. And I panicked. My world just went, and I remember screaming at her, "Don't do that again. Don't do that again." And then I thought, no, please do that again. So I will confess that for me, opening up came through a channel of wanting to connect with her again. And the book covers that. The book covers the exploration of it, finding people that could support me, that I could ask help for, that I could get advice from. I did work with a therapist for 2 years, and it made all the difference in the world. And he had really great bits of wisdom. And this is where I want to transition into talking about perhaps your journey. One of his best tidbits of wisdom to me was when human beings have a context for something that they didn't have a context for earlier, then they can start to understand it and they can start to relate to it. Because my fear, maybe relate to this, is I went from closing my front door, everything's fine, to all of a sudden I'm seeing people, I'm seeing spirits, and they're showing up, and I know that there's a lot of us out there that have fear of that. And at first I was frightened as well. I didn't, it was startling. It was like, okay, this doesn't fit my pattern. And a brilliant therapist said to me, if you lived your entire life never seeing grass or trees or greenery, and then you woke up one day and you walked out on your lawn, well, now it's a lawn, and there's grass and there's trees, it would frighten you. But when you start to build that context and you start to understand, okay, this is grass, what is grass? This is trees, what is trees? And once you have that, then it becomes more of a norm, and you can understand it and you can process it. And that's very, very true. I've also, I've been teaching students since 2007, 2008, and I've taught thousands of students at this point, and I've seen so many people transition. And what I can tell you is that they will never give you what you can't handle. I know we've heard that in different arenas, but it's true. So that sentence alone helped me to relax a little bit and say, okay, I don't know what's coming next. The unknown is the scariest. And it's not until you get used to what's going on that you feel more comfortable. But know that that window of time of the unknown and the developing and the trying to figure out what's going on is eventually going to lead you to the known and to understanding what's going on. And there's going to be a comfort level there. A large issue that I've seen over the years happen for people too is they translate what's happening to them through fear. Through fear-based concepts, evil and demon and fear and darkness, flip through TV in the late night. That's what we know. And if you've never been taught fear or terror or evil or anything like that, you wouldn't translate what's happening to you in that manner. So we apply what we know, what we've been taught, what we've heard to what we're seeing. Now, if we see something, both psychically or in a medium situation, if we see something where it's frightening to us, first step is take a moment, take a breath, and say, okay, I'm going to look at this through the eyes, through the lens of no fear and complete peace, and see if what's happening to you shifts a little bit. That's my first piece. That's my first tool for you, is when you're having an experience and it's unnerving, and you'll read that in the book. I've had those where it was, okay, I don't understand this. This is going on and it's making me uncomfortable. When you're having that, take a moment, take a step back and say, okay, what if I was to see this through the lens of love? What would happen? And I've seen so many people, once they did that, they started to see what was really there. Really there. Nothing evil, nothing uncomfortable. One of my favorite stories that I share with people is I do clearings. I go into people's homes. I used to do clearings a lot. I don't do them so much anymore. But I did when I went to a home, and this woman said to me, every time, I go to bed, I come downstairs and the cabinet doors are open and I hear footsteps on the stairs, and I'm terrified, and there's a ghost in here and it's trying to harm us and we're haunted. And so, and all of those keywords came out. The fun part is that I was standing there, and all of a sudden this little old lady in spirit came in and said, hey, I'm her aunt. And I was like, oh, it's your aunt. Long story short, the aunt was upset that she had changed the pie recipe, and so every time she made that pie, the aunt left the cabinet doors open. So she went back to the original. She laughed when she heard it. She was like, wow, I just jumped right into, this is really horrible and I'm really scared. And she jumped right into that, which is totally normal. This is the human component that we're talking about. But when we take a breath and we relax and we stay open to the possibility that this can be a positive experience as well, that maybe this is a positive source coming through, and maybe it's our nerves, it'll relax some of it. Now, the other component that I've seen in opening up intuitively is we have 3 bodies, and I elaborate in this in some other videos and stuff like that, so I won't go too deep into it, but just taking 2 out of these 3 bodies, the physical body and the spiritual body, when you start to open up intuitively, what happens is your spiritual body will raise in vibration. When that happens, it takes sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it takes that physical body some time to catch up, to balance with the spiritual body. And some of the results of that can be physical discomfort, including little waves of depression or headaches, eyes twitching, yawning. Anything sound familiar like this? Not just goosebumps, but the waves that come through us that are like goosebumps, 10 times stronger. These physical reactions are reactions to us opening up intuitively. When you open intuitively, you raise your spiritual vibration. When you raise your spiritual vibration, the rest of your system, catches up and gets on board. So this is all about balance. And the tool that I want to leave you with in the end here is what many of you know. Give me a thumbs up if you GCP every day. So people hear me talking about this all the time, but grounding, clearing, and protecting is vital. It's vital. When you do a grounding, clearing, protecting, GCP, spiritual protection practice, it doesn't block the world out. It filters that which is for your highest good versus that which you do not need. And so grounding, it's as simple as grounding into Mother Earth. If you're watching this, chances are good you already have a grounding practice. Grounding into Mother Earth. Clearing is using the element that speaks the most to you and imagining wind clearing you out, water clearing all the energy out that you don't need. Maybe the energy you picked up at the drugstore this earlier in the morning, some angry person that has nothing to do with you. Clear out that energy. So the only energy left is yours and what you should be carrying. And then protection is just creating a bubble. And people can get really creative with this. If you want to just start from scratch, create a bubble. And that bubble filters. It allows in what is for your highest good, and it keeps out what's not for your highest good. This one practice alone will do wonders for you. I can't tell you how much this one practice, if this is all you do, that's it. That's what this should be. And I'm just peeking over here. Oh, Vicki, this practice, this GCP practice, this is it. This is the foundation. Like I said, if this is the only thing you do, it's going to solve so many problems. Fewer negative people will come around. Fewer negative situations will happen. You'll be walking through this existence with your energy in your system and the stuff that you don't need, not cluttering you, not filling up your energetic system. Because when somebody else's energy that's not supposed to be in here clutters it up, it skews your thinking, it skews your comfort level, it slows your physical body from adjusting to your spiritual body. So this practice alone is huge. Start it. If you're fearful, if you're uncomfortable, if you have physical discomfort, if you're struggling emotionally with balancing this opening up of your intuition, GCP. Ground, clear, protect. Do it once in the morning, do it once at night, do it during the day. It's so simple. At first, it might take you a few minutes, but eventually it's something that you use really quickly. And I can see a lot of people here like, yes, GCP. It's gold. It really is. Do it. You might not feel or see results right away. You might. It might take a few days, but you'll start to feel lighter. Some of that fear will dissipate. It'll be easier to kind of squeeze yourself into that spiritual path. And I say squeeze yourself because sometimes it feels like that. You're readjusting your thought process. You're readjusting everything that you've known up to this point. Something has happened and you're like, okay, this skews everything that I thought was. And so now I have to readjust my understanding around this as well. So if you have any downs, in conjunction with ups around opening up intuitively, I want you to hear that you're not alone. Download this book, you'll know you're not alone. This book was written on purpose. It was written to share with you because I didn't really have a mentor. I didn't have a lot of people around me that could support me and help me to understand what was happening to me. And I wrote this book for you. I wrote it for you to say, hey, look, this is what's happening. Can you relate? And I still to this day get emails at least once a week of somebody going, I just read your book. I can completely relate. Thank you for writing this. I don't feel crazy. I can share, I feel like this. And it's just extremely helpful. I know I sound like a mama, totally biased about her book. I get it, but it really is. And declutter, exactly. Paula Williams is reminding me too, which is the core of everything else. In addition to so we've got 3 things for you. 4 if you include the book. 3 things for you. Number 1, if you have a moment and you find yourself nervous or frightened, stop, wipe the slate clean, look at it through the eyes of love, and see if it changes. See if it changes. The second thing would be GCP, ground, clear, protect, once in the morning, once at night. If you really want a step-by-step guide, you can go to thesagemethod.com, and like in the menu is free tools, and you can find GCP up there. But I hope I explained it enough that you can get started right out of the gate here. And the third thing is exactly what Barb and Paula and a few people have mentioned that have transformed their lives as well, is declutter. Declutter. The more clutter you have emotionally, physically, and around you, the harder it's going to be. Your opening is going to be like a little bit more like walking through mud. And if you can declutter as you go, you don't have to be perfect. Get to the kitchen junk drawer last. Like, you don't have to have everything decluttered right away. But the act of decluttering is the act of releasing. And then it's going to be easier and smoother as you walk through this process. And so declutter is big, and GCP is big too. Oh, and the fourth one is the book. Like I said, it's free. You don't have to go through a website. You don't have to go through Facebook. Just go right to Amazon. And the links should be in there again for the UK, for Australia, for Canada, and etc. So no matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to download it. The free promotion ends on Monday, but Monday's a full moon too. So get it now and read it on Monday. It'll be golden. It'll be the best ever. Okay, I'm going to pop into chat area here, see if there's any questions or if there's anything in there that we want to talk about. But I wanted to reach out to you today to say a lot of people are talking about the ups, the downs, about opening up intuitively. And I wanted to come on here and support you and to say you're not alone. Find community and reach out and say, hey, and celebrate your wins. We can focus on the dark We can focus on the difficulty. Challenge yourself to focus equally, if not more, on your wins. Get a notebook. Write down the amazing intuitive things that are happening to you. You know, you thought of this person, she called 5 minutes later. You saw an image of this and it unfolded within an hour. Write those down. Stick with the wins. Stay focused in that positive. Negative comes over, refresh, ground clear, protect, declutter, and download the free book, because at the very least you won't feel alone by reading it. Okay, awesome. Hi Amber, hi Brandy. Good to see you. Hi Maria, good to see you. Good to see you. Wow, Maria's an amazing medium as well. Elle, you started reading the book. Awesome, awesome. Love this. Yes, good. So a lot of people have already downloaded it. It's called Cracking Open Adventures of a Reluctant Medium. If you go right to Amazon and search for it, you'll find the first edition just in paper book format, and that's actually, we're sold out of that. The second version is the one that you're looking for with the white and the purple cover, and that's the one that you can click download for free right now. Love it. Oh, good question. Yeah, so what happens when somebody opens up intuitively is just what I wanted to talk about. Just what I want to talk about. Love this. Hi, Ava. Hi, Yvette. Awesome. Amber, you love it. Great. This is great. Again, download it and read it and enjoy it too. And enjoy your path. Enjoy your experience and journal and write down your wins and focus on them and breathe in balance. Okay. Lots of love to you. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I'm glad I could carve out this time to be with you today, and I will see you again soon. All right. Bye, everyone.